Hello, lovies. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining Contours and Conversations. It's Monday and it feels like Thursday, or I wish it were Thursday. Thursday is on its way. I'm so excited to be here with you. Welcome, everyone. I'm Taibeau, host of Contours and Conversations. Hey, girly. Hi, Iris. What's up? I'm super excited to be here with you. I must tell you, it took me a moment to come in because I was busy trying to figure out how to complement this burnt orange with this pink lip. And y'all see what my compact has been through. That's a different conversation. Let's not even go there. I am just super excited to be here today because I get to talk about one of my favorite things, quite frankly. Hello from No, it's not Tuesday. Is it Tuesday where you are? Oh, it is Tuesday. It's not Monday. Thank you so much for that, the one and only. You can tell I've been traveling. But at any rate, I'm super excited to be here to talk about one of my favorite conversations and topics. And that is gratitude, self-love, self-care. How do we lean into it, especially in a season when so much of the spirit of this season is about others? And we want it to be about others because we know that that's a part of our own identity and how we pull back the layers of who we are, especially as we put down the makeup brushes, which I just did, to have conversations that really elevate us inside and out. So I'm excited to be talking to Sofi. The Oddity is what you know her as on social media, and had an opportunity to connect. I'm accepting you, Sofi. Are you seeing? I think I accepted you. There you are.
Hi.
We
Oh
did
my God.
it.
So we did it. I was just about to like scream because that's my usual thing, but you sound so calming that I feel like I don't want to like shake up how calm you are. You sound
Baby,
so,
baby,
I was listening to you talk, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so soothing.
baby,
She
do
just sounds
you. Bring
so
all.
good.
So here's the other thing that's so powerful about that is that we feed off of each other. So even when we were
True.
talking about like this conversation that I am so super excited to dive in on. So first, wait, let me back up. Welcome to Contours and Conversations.
Thank you for having me. Oh my God, I'm so humbled and excited to be here.
I must tell you, even before we got into this place to work together for this amazing conversation, I had been following you and I knew who you were because of that look.
Thank you, girl.
Because of
Thank
that
you.
smile, the joy that you radiate. Also, quite frankly, Nigeria is very personal to me. That was the first country I visited on the continent in
Really?
2006.
Oh, that's a long time. Yes.
Listen,
Also a good
don't do no
time.
math about my age. That's not what this is about. That's why you came on
We gonna
bare
keep
face
that
and I
hush
came
hush.
on with the palette.
You know? I was gonna talk about that because I was like, I saw you look fantastic, and I was like, ooh, thank God, because I was like,
No,
I
but
can't.
are you
I
kidding me?
love it.
Are
I
you?
love.
I must
No,
tell
I do.
you,
I love.
but your smile, your joy, your energy, those full lips, the beauty. I want to peel back a little bit of the onion, if I may, Sofi,
Of course, of course.
because I don't know all of your story, and I'd like to actually have that be the case because I'm sure that while a lot of your community and followers are here in this space, there are probably things that when people think they know who you are, they don't ask. And so I want to get to the spirit of Sofi. One,
Yeah.
here we are in the holiday season, embarking on the holiday season with all the things, but you literally embody the spirit of the holiday season 365 days of the year.
I try to. I try to. I
Where
try
did that
to.
come from?
Oh my God. I think, first of all, I came out here. I live in America now, and I came out here by myself. And I never actually celebrated holidays with family. Like, it was just always me in my dorm room or me, like, by myself with friends. And it took me a long time to learn how to celebrate myself and be happy with myself. Meaning, like, if I don't have anybody else around me, am I whole enough to like embrace and enjoy myself? Like, throw a party for myself, like, you know, put on music and dance and celebrate who I am and what I've done. And that's what I think all the self-gratitude comes into play. And so I think that's where I sort of started building this idea of I'm always gonna be enough, and I'm always gonna try to put my spirits up by myself, because I don't need nobody else to do that for me. And in feeling that way, I think it allows you to also, like, you know, feel refreshed and energized all the time. Not all the time, but like most of the time.
I mean, yeah, and all the time is relative, but most of the time. But yeah. I appreciate that, because I think what culture, especially here in the States, has taught people is that if you don't have, you're supposed to sulk and feel a certain way, versus decide for yourself how you choose to show up and how you choose to live. So where did that come from, though? Like, what, I mean, was that just always a part of who you were? And give me a little bit of the backstory of like coming to the States and being here on your own.
Oh my God. So we'll be here forever. But I would say,
I have time.
You know, I mean, yeah, I would say like I was never this Sofi is brand new to me. Like, yeah, like I tell people all the time, like, I'm never the same person, because I'm always very, like, I feel like reflecting is very important. Well, before I came to America, I think I came here in like 2013, 2014. And before I did, I actually went through a really rough time back home in Nigeria. I was this peppy, really fun. I was so excited. I was really young. I was like 14, 15, if you want to do the math on my age there.
Listen, what you won't get Taibeau Champ to do is any math.
Any math.
I'm good.
I was 14, 15 then, and I went through a really, really tough time back home where I questioned my self-worth. I questioned myself, questioned who I was as a person. And I remember coming out here, I went through such a deep bout of depression where I questioned everything. If you're ever on my YouTube channel, I had a process or a time where, like, I talked about friendships and how, like, those always put me down. And I think it took, shaving my head off, looking into that mirror every morning and going, who are you? Like, who are you at the end of the day, without these friends, without family, without anybody? Who is Sofi at? Like, who is Sofi? And how can she be super proud of the woman she is? And I just had to make sure I was my biggest cheerleader all the time. And it was like that. I think it was 2017, that morning in 2017, where I just said enough is enough. And I was like, you have to choose you every day. You can't choose anybody else. And I've not looked back on it. I've not faltered. I've had my struggles here and there, but it's been the best decision I've ever made to, like, look myself in the mirror every morning and choose myself. Hands down, the best.
I'm obsessed with that, and I love how, actually, what I appreciate and what I know our teams and partners at Revlon appreciate is that you made that a choice for you, and like how really that defines a whole different level of beauty. That defines, because I have found, like, and you share with me, and we'll talk actually about the shaving of your hair, because as I shared with you very briefly, these locks are about to get cut, and I'm coming upon my Obama year. I'll be a certain age, 44, in January, and I'm like, I want to commemorate in a very special way. But, like, we don't live in a society that allows us or celebrates us for what is the internal beauty, and your choice of doing that every single day.
Absolutely.
What was that practice like? Was it like,
oh my God,
you're like,
Let me tell you, I think the one thing I did was affirmation. So I never used to be an affirmations type of girl. I just don't do it. But affirmations were the one thing that took me over everything else. Like, wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, or write something down and say, I am enough, or I am whole, I am beautiful, I am perfect, I am this, I am that. And you constantly say that. I think there's this TikTok sound that's trending right now where Rihanna is like, where someone's interview is asking Rihanna, and she's like, fake it till you make it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm like, honestly, that's what it was. Like, if I woke up in the morning and I questioned my self-worth, I had to write down, I am worthy, and read that to myself over and over and over again for me to see that, yes, you are worthy, because you are the one who's doing all this incredible things, you know? So I did that. I did a ton of self-care, whether it was like taking myself, I started getting my nails done. I started, like playing with makeup, you know, finding clothes that fit me and I enjoyed wearing, like choosing intentionally to celebrate myself. And it felt selfish. Oh my God. I had people all over me telling me how selfish I was becoming. I never had time for anybody else. I said, yeah, because I spent my entire life having time for everybody else. It's my time to have time for me. And that was one thing I chose to do for like a good amount of time. I chose to prioritize myself. And like, it was at the end of the day, it was for the betterment of everybody else around me. Because now they're like, Sophie had to be whole for her to feed into everybody else. And I think that's been incredible.
I celebrate you, and I celebrate you for your decision and your choice and your active participation in it early, because I feel like, especially for a lot of Black, brown, and marginalized women X and people, not just women, but women X and people, we're taught to kind of fit in a box, and don't show up fitting in that box, whether or not it's the way we decide to wear our hair, or the way we decide to wear our makeup or dress or show up. You know, it's like everyone will have an opinion about that. But I like to say it's not even about being selfish, it's about being self-full. Because what you said is right. The pouring into Sophia is what gets you full to do all the things that you do in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What does gratitude mean to you when you think about the idea? I love all the comments, and actually we would love to take questions from any of you toward the end. We have a little time, please. But you can put your questions in the question spot, and then I'll ask those questions. But what does gratitude mean to you?
You know, I was thinking about this question. I think when you talked to me about it earlier, when we sort of caught up, I was thinking about it, and I think it's the understanding of how far I've come, and like being able to look back and see and understand the path I have sort of walked to get to where I am. I think for a lot of us, especially like being young, I'm so young, right? But it feels like, I've not done enough and I need to constantly do, especially with social media. And gratitude to me is actually like taking a step back and sitting down and just looking back and going, wow, like I'm grateful, I'm content, I am happy, I am proud, I am successful. Like I'm pouring into that journey that I took and recognizing how important that journey was to get to me right now. You know what I mean? Like the Sophie, the Sophie of like yesterday needed to happen to become the Sophie of today. And I wanted to make sure I constantly recognize the importance of that, because that way I'm always going to be grateful for how far I've come. I'm always going to remember that journey and feel like, okay, it was worth it. Like mistakes happen, you know, it was chaotic, it was this, it was that, but it needed to happen because I would not be the amazing woman I am today, or the amazing person I am today, if not for that journey too. So I think that's what gratitude means to me.
I'm totally seeing like a quote that needs to be on a billboard, that gratitude is, you know, expressing, you know, reverence and appreciation for the person you was yesterday, but also honoring the person you are today. And I think, you know, that's why, you know, even though we're in the season of gratitude and in the holiday season, why it's so important to live that every single day. What are some of your daily practices? Like you talked about affirmations. I love that, you know, these gorgeous full lips, these beautiful skin. I love these gorgeous doe eyes. But like, what is your daily practice of like getting clear and getting grounded in gratitude?
So I've started doing this thing where it's like a minute of silence. And for someone who talks a lot, and right now, if anyone follows me, you know, this is the calmest Sophie is often ever. I am very much so always on the go. But I've started doing the moments of like silence for myself, like moments of clarity, where for a whole minute, I literally time myself. I just am still and I just think and I take in, like I let my mind wander. I let my mind breathe. I go, like I just allow myself just, you know, be calm and center myself. It's not yoga because I've tried that. It doesn't work for me.
You like yoga's not your thing.
Yeah,
I hear you, girl.
No, it's just not my thing. But I started doing that sort of like silent moment of silence or clarity every morning when I wake up, because it allows me to sort of set the tone for the day. So if my mind is scrambled when I wake up and I'm feeling like anxious about something, that moment gives me like, hey, I'm recognizing this anxiety right now. maybe I'm going to take some time today to like address that. If not, I'm going to take some time to do it later on. And like I feel that and I own it and I again keep it pushing. I try again to do the words of affirmations thing. I've started doing like skincare stuff. That's why I'm really proud to like be rocking my skin on here. I've started really hard to like pour into my skin. If you're African, you know this, but we tend to like, when we like shower and put lotion on our body, we tend to be very aggressive when we do that. Like we're like, let's just get it on and just scrub it on.
It's not, that's not just African. I feel like I don't know, because my grandmother and my grandparents were like, you need to scrub. They used to do something else that I won't even go into.
Yeah, but we get so aggressive with it. So mornings now, I tend to like take my shea butter on my, and I just like take the time to like soothe my body, like pour into the skin, because like when you wake up in the morning and you feel refreshed, it sets the tone. And then I just put on the music. Any type of music that gets me going, half the time is African music, and I just sort of like pump it and dance. And
who you listening to right now? Like, who's on the pump?
I am obsessed right now. I'm just gonna try to like Wizkid, They Can Let Gold, Joe Boy, Official, Thames, all these incredible artists. They make my entire day.
And are you in the States now, or are you in Nigeria?
I am back in the States now. But I'll be going back home soon.
You like, look, I'm going back. I'm going home.
I need it.
I hear you. I'm not even mad at that. So we talked about the idea of self-care, affirmation. How do you define beauty? And what is that as an African girl living in a society that sometimes, well, I think before, I mean, we're definitely celebratory and embracing now, and I'm so grateful for this. But you know, how do you define beauty, and what does that mean to you?
Oh my God, that's such an intense question.
I'm sorry,
but it's also
it's
sorry. In a good way. Yeah, because I would be like lying if I say like beauty to me is like, you know, power and black girl magic and all that stuff, because it took me a long time to feel beautiful in my own skin, for sure. But I think I'd love to say like beautiful imperfections. And I always like to say beauty is imperfect, because I think that is like the epitome of like the idea behind why I even wanted to start Oddity. Was I tended to always pick out my imperfections immediately when I looked in the mirror. And I think a lot of us tend to do that. We look and we say, oh, I wish my eyes weren't like that. I wish my head wasn't that big. I wish my this wasn't that. But then I had to like rewire my brain to think about my imperfections as beautiful, because I think in that way, I allowed myself put myself on the pedestal and allowed myself celebrate myself. So beauty to me is imperfect in a sense. It allows me celebrate who I am exactly as I am. Like no changes, nothing like, oh, if I had fuller lips or if I had like a shinier nose, like none of that. Like beauty to me is exactly who I am in that presence, and I sort of like own it and enjoy it. Like shaving my head with they used to call me Hammerhead of Horror, you guys. Triple H was my nickname in high school. And I had a friend who would not let me get in his car without a hat on because of my head shape. Yeah, no, it was intense, but so that's where self-love and beauty comes in, right? I knew how much and how powerful I was when I truly loved what I looked like. And so that's why I would say that.
Well, I mean, first, thank you for sharing, but I would be remiss,
the audacity of it all.
Yeah, I mean, but the oddity of it all, but also like, how did you deal with that at that time? Because I love that and I think that that's a wonderful practice. It's actually, it goes deeper than looking in the mirror and affirming yourself and saying like positive things to yourself. It's like if you flip the switch and the code and say that the things that are quote unquote odd about you or different about you or imperfect about you, and you celebrate and honor those. But how do you deal with that? You know, when, and what was your response to that then? And how did you stand taller post those moments?
Yeah, I think I'm still dealing with that, but I think it's like head on. It feels so like not the weirdest answer to say, but like
literally head on.
Like literally I'm like here. Like I can't change it, okay? Like I can't do nothing but exist the way I am. And I think that's what the body positivity movement right now is happening. The self-love movement is happening. I love like my friends who are like constantly celebrating their looks and how they are in the present. And I see that like you would have negative comments and there's nothing you can do about it, but those things just bounce back now. Like they used to hit me a certain way where I would feel doubt or feel scared or feel like inauthentic. But then I had to realize that like I had to face that head on, because if I truly believed in my sauce and my beauty and everything I was celebrating, then whatever they said had to just bounce off, because they had nothing against me. You know what I mean? So I think that's how I still deal with it. So when I hear someone say some nasty something in the corner, I'm like, shoot, keep going.
Like
That is not
you're like, I'm
me.
gonna kiss my teeth on that one and keep it moving.
Keep it moving, keep it moving. And it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to get to that point where you feel like you can't ignore those things. But when you prioritize yourself and you choose to celebrate yourself constantly, it's a lot. It gets easier. Like you chip away from those things easier, to where like you just know, it's not necessarily about me. It's probably how they're feeling about their insecurities and how they're having to deal with stuff. It has nothing to do with me. So I'm just still gonna celebrate me.
So what would you say to your, now you being who you are and obviously evolving and doing a lot of work, and I celebrate and applaud you, and I'm so honored because I think also, you know, young women and young Black, brown, marginalized women, X, and people need to see the example. But what would you say to yourself, like if you were to look back on, you know, coming here to like, what advice would you give to yourself then, that is kind of like mind blowing for you right now?
I would say, and I think what's even crazy when you ask me that is because everything I do right now, I do for 13-year-old Sophie. Like I think about how I felt in that moment, and I'm like, everything I say on my social media about like, believing in yourself, loving yourself, all of that
It's
is
like speaking
because
to her.
it's speaking to
Yeah.
her, literally the inner child within me who struggled for so long to feel these feelings. But I would say like, you are you for a reason. That's it. Like I would just want myself to remember that like I did not need to be anybody else but myself. I was born to be me. Like I am special, I am unique. I am meant to be where I am, and I need to celebrate and highlight the importance of being me at that moment in time. When I was in high school and I thought I didn't deserve to be on the debate team, or I didn't deserve to be on X, Y, and Z, or when I was in college and I thought I didn't, like, why was I here? And I questioned imposter syndrome for a lot of us. Like when I question those things, reminding myself now, like, you deserve to be in all those spaces. You are you for a reason. And if you amplify and bring yourself up, everybody else has no choice but to uplift you as well. And so you have to lead, by example, by uplifting yourself too. So I'll tell little Sophie that, and I hope she listens. Yeah.
I got emotional just listening to you, because I think at the end of the day, one, it's very honest and transparent and brave of you to share that, because I think all of us are working and speaking to our childhood self and our inner child, and whether or not it was our 13-year-old Ty or Sophie, or our 11-year-old, there's so much that we're working to overcome. And it's like, if we speak to her with the same care and tender love and attention and energy and vibrancy, like, we wouldn't talk down to ourselves the way that we do. We wouldn't dismiss like our feelings. We would honor her in a different way, because, or them in a different way, to be sure that there is like real care, because it's deserved.
Yep. All of that.
I mean, like, no, I'm having a moment, because I'm like, that's, so it's, and I think that could be a temperature check. Like, what would you say to, and not just like, what would you say to that person, but what would you say to elevate them, to elevate her, to bring her or them along to that place of peace, and that place of joy. I want to answer a couple questions from the audience, but I also want to do some rapid fire. Okay. All right. I just came up with this real quick. Since we're talking about self-care, we're talking about love, we're here with our partners at Revlon, who I appreciate because they're going beyond what is here and really kind of diving in.
Indeed. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, bath or shower?
Shower. Absolutely.
Okay. Why?
I was so intensely. because oh my god, sitting in the nasty water, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. It's just
Just say no to the nasty water. Just say no to
cannot.
the nasty water. Just say no to the nasty water. Just say no to the nasty water. No, 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 no nasty water.
Come on.
Okay. Eyeshadow or lipstick?
Lipstick.
Okay, why?
I love my lips.
Oh, I think we all love your lips. Okay. Morning or nighttime?
Ooh, nighttime.
Why?
I have no idea. I just have to say that. The morning was like, nighttime. I cut up a little bit, so I'll say nighttime.
Okay, mountain or beach?
Beach. I love the water. I do not understand the process of climbing up a mountain. I just don't get it. I would
this is why I know you're not in LA, because listen, when you come, you have to hit me up, because hiking is my jam. Okay.
See now.
Check my stories. I'm like on the mountain constantly.
You lost me already. I saw.
You're like, we're done. We're done.
We're done. We're done.
We're done. It's all the way over. Okay. Smile or smize?
Smile. I've been trying to learn how to smile for a really long time, and it just don't be working out. Okay, I just look like I don't want to cry. I'm such a huge smiler, but like, it's not work out for me.
You're like,
I'm like,
but listen, boo, when you have lips like that, listen, you and teeth and a smile like that, go ahead and smile.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Alone time or tribe or friend time?
I love my alone time. A lot of people think I'm an extrovert, and I am. Don't get me wrong. I would love, but I'm actually really shy.
Really?
So I am. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to like get out there, especially like I'll put it on. Okay, I can like go out there and do my thing, but like you would see me. As a clip is going around where I walked the VMA's carpet, and I was like, giddy, yes, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like back again.
It's like, you know, I have those moments too. People are surprised. I'm a Capricorn, so I can be very outward facing, but I'm very introverted. Like I love my time alone.
I do.
Okay. How many hours of sleep? 4,
I'm definitely
7, or 9?
Ooh, 4, 7, or 9. 9 is too much. 7 is right there. I'm gonna go with 4. I'm a quick nap type of girl. I don't like sleeping. It's so exhausting.
Wait, did you just say sleeping is exhausting? Listen. Okay.
It's taking so long.
Okay. I'm trying to find some questions. I thought we had a couple questions. Let's see. I'm trying to see how these work. We have a lot of questions coming in from Nigeria.
Ooh.
But I don't think. Okay. Kindly save this live. It's so good. I'm in Germany. Please save. Sophie, do you ever feel alone? On those days, what do you do?
I do. I actually went through a process where I lived alone, or I live alone right now, and it was the scariest thing to actually be stuck with yourself, like for
when you're forced stuck with yourself,
like forced stuck, especially during quarantine. I think it all was crazy was because that was when I actually like started doing my videos. Is when I was by myself alone, like, oh my god, what do I do? But I started actually actively living, and that's weird to say, but I realized I didn't actively live. I sort of like went with the flow of like what friends wanted to do, what like school was happening. I never actually chose to do certain things like, oh, I'm going to go for a walk today. I'm going to make coffee. I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to watch, you know what I mean? Like actively living and choosing to do certain things I didn't necessarily do. I had to start doing those things. I realized because I was like, I have nothing to do. And so that I think is always my advice for someone is like, if you're ever feeling alone or lonely in spaces, actively live, like actively do something, whether it's like making a fresh random recipe that you
do something,
do something to get yourself entertained, like start a new recipe, go on a walk, start, a new hobby, to go for a run, something that allows you challenge yourself and push you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
I love that actively living, because I also think that helps you become I don't want to just say an active participant in your life, but it helps you to recognize that you're present in it. I think
Exactly.
sometimes like, and I get it, depression and isolation, especially during the time of pandemic and feeling alone and
Yeah.
isolated is real. But when you sit in it for too long,
For too long.
you forget
Exactly.
about the opportunity to kind of be an active participant.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
good. That is really good. Okay, so I have one more question before I let you all go.
Gotta
And I
go.
just want to thank you for tuning in to Contours and Conversations. This is episode
Love
4
you.
with the beautiful Sofi, who is just an undeniable smiler.
Hi.
Never smizing. I'm like never smizing. But someone wanted to ask, and I need this tip for myself because I'm shaving very soon. The locks are getting shaved.
Okay.
They might be reattached 3 months later, but I'm gonna shave them.
Good enough.
How do you maintain the skin, and like how often are you going to the barber? Are you cutting or shaving, and what do you do to make sure it's
So
healthy?
my scalp was terrible when I first. I don't think we realized how like maybe it was just me, but I never actually used to take care of my scalp, especially when you have 4C hair. Like I just sort of like washed it and massaged and everything. So when I first shaved it off, there was a lot of bumps, it was a rocky road up there. And I think what I actually shave. It's not the best thing, but it's easy for me because I shave every day. But I use like a razor
Oh,
and I
you
use
do it
like
every
some.
day?
I do it every
Wow.
day. I shave every day. I love like I mean, not get started. I love the clean shaven look. But if anything, they're like all these like really skin razors that I also use. What I have started doing though is I always use shea butter. Like shea butter has been like my thing. Where like everyone says my head's always shiny, and I think that's why I tend to shave it all the way every day, and I just slather on a lot of stuff on there. So yeah.
I love it. Okay, one last question before you go. What's
Okay.
your favorite lip color? Is it pink? Is it red? Or is it a nude? And why?
Reds look great on me because they draw a lot of attention, but I'm such a nude lip girl. I love a nude lip. I think it's just because like my lip is naturally nude, if I do say so myself. And
Mm.
I love accentuating those features. You know what I mean? If I want to smile. But
Like
I'm a nude. I'm a
the
nude
the
person.
next thing I'm gonna be like, we're gonna have to do a makeup tutorial with your nude lip and your eyeshadow
That
just
has
to
to, I
see.
don't know how that works. Oh my God. But yeah, nude all the way.
All right, before I let you go, my love, one, happy holidays, whatever you're
Happy
doing. May
holidays.
you feel the love of those around you. That is really kind of a manifestation of the love that you feel inside. May you feel elevated and spirited to bring that alive in all the ways that you do. We are so grateful for your platform. But what message do you have to our entire Revlon community and Oddity community and Taibeau community
Oh my
around
God.
what we should be grateful for or excited
Yeah.
for as we move into the new year?
In the spirit of the oddity, I would say celebrating yourself, celebrating you truly. We talked so much about that on this live today, so I want to pass that message along is uplift yourself this holiday season, choose you. I know there'll be a lot of family dinners happening, a lot of conversations happening this holiday season, but make sure through all those conversations, you're prioritizing yourself, your happiness, your truth, your love, everything in between. So happy holidays, everyone.
Ah! Love and blessings to
Love
you.
it.
So great to see you. Stay stunning, stay full, stay energized and filled with light and love and joy. You radiate for sure, Sofi. I'm so grateful to be connected to you.
Thanks, Ty.
All
Same.
right. Talk to you soon.
Bye,
Ciao,
guys.
ciao. Oh my gosh, how incredible was that? So there you have it. The 4th episode of Contours and Conversations. I should have asked all of you. I wanted to know where you were tuning in from. So I'll stay on for one more minute. I want all of you to share where you're tuning in from. Wishing you all a wonderful and blessed holiday season. May you feel enlightened, energized, celebrated, supported, in self-love that you obviously can show and share with the world. And may your contours and conversations be ones that elevate your spirit and also elevate the spirit of others. Whether or not you're wearing a nude lip a bold lip, whether or not you're smizing. Wait, I can smize. Or smiling like Sophie. We're super excited that you were all here. I see you, DC. I see you, Houston. I know we had a lot of Lagos is in the house. What's up, Nigeria, Mexico, Nigeria. It's so good to see all of you. Uruguay, it's so good to have all of you here at Revlon. So be sure that you stay tapped in to all of the things that we have to actually enhance that inner beauty, right? Because that's what it's about. That's the contour. The contour is how do you bring something from within and manifest it outward. I see you, Brooklyn, one and only. I love you. To my morning mindset tribe, I love you so much. Singapore, I want to thank Revlon. I want to thank the team at Sky Blue Media for making this possible. We see you. Like this on the feed so that way we can continue to have these dynamic conversations about how we contour and how we also connect and celebrate identity, individuality, and our beauty. Love and blessings. I'm Taibeau Champ. Thank you. Ciao.